Hey you guys, how you doing? I wanted to talk to y'all about having a relationship with money. Somebody had asked me the question about, I don't know, it was on my financial literacy video. I think that was the name of it. I don't even remember. But I wanted to talk to y'all and let y'all know. Just like you have a relationship with your family members and you have a relationship with, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, you have a relationship, say, with your coworkers and neighbors. Well, you have a relationship with money too. A lot of people, what sets unsuccessful people apart from successful people, or what sets, say, poor people from wealthy people, it's not luck. Luck plays a small role in somebody being financially well off. But the major thing that makes someone successful and financially well off is their abundant, wealth consciousness. Really, it's all about mindset. Because people with a poverty mindset, that's coming from a space of lack. So for example, a lot of women wonder why some guys out here are players and pimps and stuff like that, where they just have to have multiple women. Look, he could say he's polygamous, but let's dig deeper. Are you really polygamous, or do you just have a lack mentality to where you just feel like, man, I can't get the woman that I want, so you just settle for a quantity instead of quality? I don't know. Y'all let me know. I'm just asking a question. But, and then, I mean, we could probably flip it the other way, because there are women out here who feel like, oh, I could do what a man does. And, that to me, again, it's all about what you agree on. It's all about mindset. A polygamous person don't need to be bothered with a monogamous person. You're not equally yoked, and you never will be. So y'all might as well just go your separate ways and leave each other alone. Okay? But back to what I was talking about, right? Your mental attitude. Your mental attitude can push you further and further from a life of prosperity. Why? Because you're telling yourself, I can't, instead of I can. Just that small difference right there makes a major difference subconsciously for you. A lot of people play with themselves when they be like, I'm broke. Look, your subconscious mind doesn't register jokes, okay? So I understand like where some people come off where you don't want people begging you, so you be like, I'm broke. But just understand, words are spells. So anything after I am, you're really manifesting that reality. So instead of just saying that, just say, I am abundant. But if you don't want to give nobody no money, just tell them, I don't have money to give right now. It's always other ways to verbalize a no, instead of saying things like, I'm this. You know what I'm saying? Just be careful with how you talk to yourself. Subconsciously and consciously, just be careful about how you talk to yourself, y'all. This is why so many people, struggle financially. They struggle mentally because the biggest critic is yourself. But anyways, so in order to attract wealth, abundance, and a prosperous life, we must never feel resentful towards money or those that have it. How many times, have you witnessed, like, let's say somebody goes gambling. They win a couple $1,000s or something. And then you have people, oh, you think you all that. And this, see, that person is exhibiting resentful and jealous feelings because when they go gambling, they ain't one zip. But guess what? When you shift your mindset and be like, oh, wow, they won, and you celebrate with them, you're basically communicating to God that you're happy for that person and what they won, that guess what? You about to have a blessing coming. You about to have a win coming. You don't see it or feel it coming, but it's coming, It's all karma, y'all. What you put out is what you get back. You can't be hating on somebody and resentful that they got this nice car, they got a promotion at work, and they just bought this house, or whatever it was that they're accomplishing in their life. You can't look at them and be jealous and resentful. Control your emotions. Check yourself. And then you got to sit there and ask yourself, well, why do I feel jealous? Why do I feel resentful? Why am I in this space of not them, why not me type of thought process? Ask yourself these questions, because if they can do it, so can you. What's stopping you except you? All right. So here's some questions. How do you feel when you give and receive money? For example, bills is due, right? Most people don't like the first because, oh, rent, my bank account is draining. Oh, it's so depressing watching my money go down. That is a lack and poverty mindset right there. But those with a wealthy mindset, oh, it's rent. Boom. I'm going to make it back later on, multiplied. That is a wealth mindset. You know what I'm saying? You not, just like, for example, when somebody asks you, say, for $20, $100, however much, are you giving freely because you have it? Or are you not wanting to give, or you're resentful of giving it because, you just coming from a space of lack, like, well, what if I need this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give you an example. I was at work and it was like Christmas. I think this was like 2 years ago. A lady had tipped me $100. I thought it was a $10 bill. And, I looked at something, told me, like, my intuition was like, look at it again. I looked at it again and caught the other zero. And I'm like, I couldn't believe my eyes that she had tipped me $100. I went to go wave that lady down and tell her thank you. It was unexpected. But guess what? When I had told one of my coworkers at the time that I got tipped $100, he was jealous. He came off resentful. Oh, you just only got $100 because you a woman. Or I got $100 because I actually am great at my job. You know what I'm saying? We do the same work, but you're upset because nobody tipped you. And at that time, I was wearing my hair in bangs, and he was up there, well, I need to go wear some bangs, and maybe, people will tip me. Sir, stop. But see, that's the difference. I had blessed somebody prior, like on some pay it forward type stuff. And then on the back end, I got it back. You know what I'm saying? And so it was unexpected, you know what I'm saying? But then as time went on, I kept that 100 in my wallet. And then, I was at work, and this guy, he was homeless, and he had asked for, some money to get gas. I didn't have no money. All I had was the $100 bill. So I gave him the $100 bill because everything he owned was inside his vehicle. And it looked like he was sleeping in his vehicle. And it was wintertime. It was cold, And, well, shoot, I'm still working a job. I'm not in desperate need of this 100. It's literally been sitting in my wallet for months at this point. Go on ahead and give it to this man. So I went on ahead and gave him the 100. That man bawled tears and cried and was like, oh, God bless you. God bless you. I'm like, you good. I'm already blessed, baby. I got this job. I'm getting my check regularly. I hope this 100, gets you that gas you need, maybe a hotel room, some food, and you'll be good, Now, of course, he called himself thinking, oh, are you single? Oh, no, I ain't taking on no homeless man. Hell no. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you step in the line now. Like, no, buddy, I'm good. But that's an example of, abundant mindset. I had already did a previously nice deed for somebody. I got it back twice as much because I didn't expect that lady to give me 100. And then, I sat on it for a while because I didn't need it. And then here came somebody in need, and God used me to bless them. That is the number one thing a lot of people got to realize. When somebody prays and asks for help, sometimes God uses us to help that person and to answer their prayers. We are the answers to each other's prayers that help one another out. I mean, how many times can you think of where you didn't needed help along your journey in life and God put people before you to help you? I know I can think of many times. So, but anyways, y'all. So just notice, like, how do you feel when you give and receive money? You know what I'm saying? So that emotional attachment that you have towards money, that significantly impacts your ability to give and receive freely. All right. So you can't feel guilt, shame, fear, and anger when you're giving money or when you're receiving it, with the mentality of, oh, I got my check. Because you know that now that you got your check, now you got to go pay these bills. Or now the people that you owe money to, you got to pay them back. You know what I'm saying? Just do the right thing. But stuff like that creates energetic blocks to your abundance. FYI, release those negative emotions. And, money will lose its hold on you. And it becomes a tool, because that's all money is. Money is a tool. Like, I don't know why. And I say this with most church people, but they just have this mentality of, I would rather be poor than be rich. Baby, look, I feel like God called me to live a very comfortable life. Okay. Without money, there's a lot in this world you can't do. You cannot be poor and drowning in debt and then think you just gonna open up a business and then just think that you gonna do all these immaculate things. No, you have to have a wealth mindset to do these things. Money itself is a tool, but money itself is not evil. When they say the root of all evil is money, no. If you have the mentality of, I will do anything to get money, that's when it becomes evil, because you're willing to throw away all your morals, your standards, everything that makes you because you want some money. How do you think we got OnlyFans today? Because people threw away their morality to show their booty on the internet for some dollars. So I'm just saying, But money, that's all it is. It's a tool. And for me, being that it's a tool, it should not be your source of happiness, your source of peace, your source of joy or fulfillment. Your mental mentality, it leads subconsciously to whether you have a good relationship with money or you have a bad relationship with money, So, but yeah, you have like let's say God blessed you with a scratch off and you won a couple thousand or even a couple hundred. You'll have people who be like, show off because you done took that couple hundred and you might have invested it, right? And then that investment skyrocketed into more money. Got you that, like, let's say, you won $300. You invested it, right? Now that 300 turned into 3,000. People will give you this like, oh, you a show off. Oh, you a know-it-all. Like this stank attitude because they didn't have the mindset. Because if they would have won that 300, they might have been at the bottom of a bottle. They might have went to go spend it on drugs. They might have went to go pay a bill and they right back to square one being broke. There was a time that I hated looking at my bank account because that mug was on zero or it was withdrawn sometimes. I was a broke college student at one point. I look at my bank account now. I look at my savings and my checking now, my investment accounts and stuff now. And I'm like, psh, I'm well on my way, baby. Shoot, if I compare myself now to 10 years ago, psh, I'm well off compared to 10 years ago, even with the level of inflation and stuff going on right now. And even in that time with my job, I got better and better pay over time, you know, because I didn't have this mindset of lack. I knew, I'm just like, no, God, like, I'm going to make it. Like, you know, there's things I'm trying to do in life, and we can't help other people when we ourselves are drowning. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of people have this thought of, well, in order to be wealthy, you have to be born into money. Not true. You know, to get, you know, oh, well, to get wealthy, you got to be lucky, or you got to have special connections. That's a little small portion of it, but that's not quite the key. And so, you know, those type of people who think like that, they dismiss the achievements, you know, as luck. They dismiss people's hard work behind the scenes as luck. It's not luck. They really work their butt off behind the scenes, but because you didn't pay attention, or you laughed at them when they told you their ideas, their goals, their dreams, now that you see them fulfilling it, now you feel drove. Now you want to be all in your feelings when you could have been on board. There's plenty of times where I wanted people to hop on board with certain things. They didn't want to hop on board when they had the money because they would rather spend that money on a bottle. They'd rather go partying. They did everything else under the sun with their money versus invest it where I was telling them to invest it. So now your girl's up and, well, they still in the same position, but they want to low-key be mad at me. Be mad at yourself. Nobody told you that you had to go and party and do drugs and whatever it was you decided to do over making that investment. But now you feel lost out. Now it's like, hey, can I still get in? No. You know, it's too late now. You know, you should have got in when I told you to. That's called being hard-headed. And you know what I'm saying? Because the number one excuse is, oh, well, I didn't have the money. They always have the money. They do. You just choose to spend the money on other things. But that's their fault. But a wealthy state of consciousness, that's why folks be wealthy, y'all. It's just really, really that simple. You know, poverty consciousness is why people are poor and they lack wealth. You know, poverty is an illusionary mindset. You know, it's an illusion. Everybody can have wealth because think about it. Everybody's idea of their dream home is different. Some people would think of a mansion. Some people think about a small cottage in the woods where ain't nobody around. You know, where they can just be self-sufficient off the government, where other people, they don't mind being dependent on the government. See, that right there is just a difference in mindset. Some people want to be independent of the government. Others want to be dependent. So, you know what I'm saying? Some people idea of wealth is, you know, is not having like a Maserati or some luxurious car. Their idea of wealth might be in their family and seeing and living long enough to see 4 or 5 generations of their children's children and on down the line. That is a version of wealth too. So it all depends on the person's mindset and how they view things. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, you know, if you think lack, you're going to have lack. And 9 times out of 10, if you think lack, you're going to feel lack. But if you think wealthy and you feel wealthy, because you have to marry, you know, your emotions with your mind. And when the two are married, you more than likely have the motivation and the willpower and the faith to do what it is that needs to be done to get to this successful space in life that you're trying to get to. So, I mean, it's all up to you, you know. Some people, depending on your mindset and how well you think about money or how unwell you think about money, that's what you attract, y'all. You tend to attract, that. So, just be mindful of what you think. So I'm going to ask y'all some questions. So are you the type that, you blame people for a lack of opportunity? Are you the type where you just blame the world for your problems? Are you the type that, you blame the already rich and successful for why you're not rich and successful? Take responsibility for being poor and being where you are in life right now. Take responsibility. It is not punishment to take responsibility. It's not. We are all self-made, rich and poor, We've made ourselves. Like our parents had a particular circumstance. They passed that on to us, but you have the power and the control to change your life around. Just because you was born poor don't mean you got to be poor the rest of your life. Don't mean your children need to be poor the rest of their life. And how many of y'all have heard that, well, I didn't raise you like that, and I didn't this, and, all because you out there changing the game. That low key is jealousy. That's resentment because they think to themselves, like there's a lot of parents out there that, they see their children. Because remember, we're in an information age, and this is the age where you got children on YouTube, millionaires at 8 years old, 10 years old, all because, they up there doing kid stuff on the internet, but they have parents supporting them and backing them up. So like Gracie's Corner, her parents back her up. And that's why she's a hot sensation, not amongst just the children, but teenagers, grown adults like myself, because I would allow my child, to watch Gracie's Corner, So, she blowing up, you know what I'm saying? And she is a child. Okay. So, it's all about the mindset. It's all about, because like some parents, they have the mindset of, well, I grew up poor, so I'm gonna make life hard for my kids too. That's not cool, and it's not okay. It's not. So anyways, y'all, that's just some questions that I wanted to just pose to you. Oh, and here's another question. Do you ever feel jealous or envious of, those who are successful? These are questions that you need to ask yourself, because if the answer to any of these questions is yes, you got a lot of work to do on your mindset. Just saying. But remember, money is a tool, and being wealthy is a mindset. Being poor is a mindset. That's all it is. Why do you think that there's a saying? Change your mind, change your life. All right, I'm going to leave y'all with that one. Do some homework. Think about it.